Alrighty, so in this video I have only a couple of games to share with you guys, and to start things off, this one is not necessarily my stereotypical go-to survival game on this list, and I will get to that in just a second. This game is called Vorex. It just dropped on Steam extremely recently. This game is in fact in early access and basically bare bones as far as optimization goes. According to a lot of people on Steam charts, it is. Now, this is a horror survival game, which means although it is semi-open world, there is a storyline in the game, and it's not your stereotypical open world survival title that you would expect in other survival games. Because of the storyline in the horror genre being a part of this game, Vorex does feel a bit more limited and linear as far as what you could expect and achieve in the game. And that is exactly why I say that this is not necessarily my go-to survival game. However, with that also being said, this game has one of the most impressive animations I've ever seen, especially coming from a survival game. Of course, I wouldn't go as far as comparing this game to a modern day FPS video game, because those tend to have beyond phenomenal animations. But once again, as far as Green Hell or even 7 Days to Die, this game really makes them feel very outdated in terms of animation. And let's also not forget that this is very small studio and not a AAA development team whatsoever. I encountered this game completely random. I hear that some people say that this game was at some point available as a demo version on Steam for about a year or so, then obviously was removed, and now it's in early access available for everybody else. And the majority of those players also say that the game hasn't changed as far as being optimized well enough, especially comparing it to the demo version that was at some point available. I will leave it up to you to make that call. I think the game looks intriguing, but obviously Steam reviews typically do not lie. I just figured I would bring this up to you, and if that's something you may want to revisit at some point in the near future, I mean, hey, the choice is yours. This is another low poly survival game that just dropped on Steam. It has that Mad Max feel to it. With this one, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I tried getting in, played for about an hour or so, but just couldn't get around liking their inventory and crafting system. It felt completely disconnected from the game. Their recipes felt very randomized and without a clear purpose behind it. It's like in order to craft a simple backpack, you have to have like 5 different types of items, and with just very odd numbers to them as well. Trying to get around the crafting items in my inventory also felt a bit weird and just hard to grasp around. It felt as if the inventory system was glued together somehow with limited efforts and without a true vision, as if it was done at the last minute prior to the game's release. But just because I don't find this game appealing and suiting for me, it doesn't mean that the same would apply to you. And that is exactly why I'm still including this game on this list. And apparently there's also another survival game that's making its way through its development that actually seems very cool as far as the concept. I know Fallout 4 London mod has been blowing up out of proportion, and it deserves all the hype in the world, of course, especially for the quality being. And for those of you, of course, unaware, Fallout 4 modders just dropped a major mod for Fallout 4 fans, where it completely transforms and reshapes the game for the better. And obviously by the title of the mod, it's taking place in England. And it is just a breath of fresh air, honestly, introducing a new survival system along with new weapons and customizations. But Atom Fall is an upcoming survival game that was basically introducing that concept for a while. Just a quick disclaimer, the game is not out yet, but there were some testing sessions available at some point for this game, and just watching the trailers and the gameplay videos for this game, it does look very promising to say the very least. Although I do think this game is going to be a bit linear with the gameplay, especially since there is going to be a pretty detailed storyline attached to the game as a whole. But it looks great, it sounds perfect on paper. Let's just wait and see what happens next. And this will conclude today's list. Once again, just a little short video, just a little games you might want to consider, just kind of letting you know that it's out there. Do me a favor, if you find any of these games intriguing and you didn't know they existed before, maybe smash that like button for me. It definitely helps me out in the long run. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And as always, this was your boy Roos, and I'm out. Goodbye.